we wanted to do a quick video where we reflect on our first month of trying to run this YouTube channel and create content on a mostly daily basis, as well as, our feelings about it, our what equipment we're using, and what trials and tribulations have been there, in case anybody who happens to watch this can, soak up a little bit of knowledge and maybe escape some of the early mistakes that we make. I think maybe we'll do one of these a month, because I think that sounds fun, at least for maybe the first 6 months or a year, and sort of chronicle what's going on. So as of the time of recording this video, we only have 12 subscribers, and the average video that we have is getting like 12 views, I think. Our top video is like 150 or 60, and we have a few videos that are in the 30 to 60 range as far as views. Many, we're not really getting any comments aside from one or two that had some racial slurs that I deleted. And I think we had one positive comment out of all the videos that we've made. We have, I think, 34 videos on the channel total, because some days we uploaded two. That was our goal, was 2 a day, like Monday through Friday, and then maybe a one video on Saturday and take Sunday off. That was our goal. We haven't met it every week, but let's talk about that. So let's start with you, Michael. Let's begin with just like the gear, because you've had to purchase some gear. Tell us what you were doing to begin with, and then what stuff you bought and how much it cost.
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks to our 12 subscribers, because they're our 12 favorite people.
Yeah, it's our 12 apostles, man.
So
three of them are us, though, so there's a little going on.
Yeah, that's our secret. You didn't have to reveal that part. So yeah, I started out where I already had a pretty decent computer, and I had just recently bought it, so that was sort of an unrelated thing. I know you're doing it on a laptop currently, so you don't have to have a computer, but I had some decent hardware there already. I'm using a $20 webcam I already had, and then I was using basically my gaming headset and the microphone on the webcam. As you can tell, the audio has been recently upgraded. The gaming headset, the microphone was not super, the microphone on the webcam was not super. So under your recommendation, I actually went and got a Blue Yeti microphone. I actually got the Yeti Caster kit, which I'm planning on doing a bit of a sort of an unboxing video. I didn't take video of the actual.
Yeah, so don't spoil that. But yeah, at least you can tell us how much it cost and what it came with.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll give more detail about it in that one, but suffice it to say, it was one whole kit that came with the microphone, the stand, and the mount for 200, shipped right to my door by Amazon. So I've been loving it so far, but honestly, to get
you just spoiled it.
Well, no, I didn't.
Well, you spoiled the conclusions of the review, at least. Yeah. They're not, unless you're going to throw a huge curveball and be like, no, JK, I fucking hate it.
No. But I mean, like, obviously we both own, a microphone. So like we've been using it. I've only used it, 2 days in a row now, something like that. Yeah. So maybe my opinion will change in the future.
Well, I think you sound a lot better with it. And there's probably better mics, but from what I could find in the price range, it seemed like it was not worth it to spend less on a different product. And so unless you were willing to spend $200 or better, the Blue Yeti USB came highly recommended.
Yeah. And then, so, I mean, honestly, to just get a mic and the camera, I mean, you could go cheap and go, what you say, maybe 140?
Something like that, yeah.
For the very basic, you could do 250 and get, pretty much what I have and a little better probably. So overall, the gear was the part that I wasn't expecting to get interested in. I just kind of thought, we can just do it with whatever we have. And my experience so far has been, now that I have a better mic and I sound better, like maybe now I'm going to upgrade the camera. Maybe now I want to look into other things. So,
and to be clear, I was the same way, and I still don't feel like we need to upgrade stuff because no one will watch if it doesn't look professional enough. Because I watch shit where they're recording it on their phone. I don't give a fuck. I just want to know the content. If the content is good, if I'm interested in what the people are saying, I'm not that picky about the video quality. I feel like that's kind of a fixture of our generation. We came up with smartphones, or smartphones became popular when we were kids, and so I'm totally cool with shitty video production quality. It doesn't make a difference to me. I'll watch it anyway.
I mean, we played Game Boy games, for God's sake.
Yeah,
so.
man, we were right at the end of that too. Yeah. So real quick here, I'm a musician as well, so I have a lot of gear. I have an audio interface, studio monitors, all of that kind of stuff that's much more expensive. But just for the purposes of making these videos, I did, up until a couple days ago, I was using the integrated camera on my laptop, but I upgraded to a $30 Logitech C615 or something like that webcam. $30 seems to work fine. It's at least it has a wider angle than the one that was on my laptop, so that's good. I bought the Blue Yeti for this purpose at like $100. I got the one that just comes with the stand. I don't have the boom arm or anything like that, although I'm super jealous, and we'll probably be getting one. Yeah, and so I would say like total investment, because I bought this board as well, and I would say I'm closer to, like maybe 300 in total investment, because I bought a couple cords and some other stuff. I bought an extension cord, and I bought extra lamps for lighting and whatever, but still totally reasonable, in terms of, from the perspective of being a musician. I have amps that cost twice that, that total amount. So the total, and I'm used to that kind of having to save up and investing in that way. But yeah, I would say that this is the minimum entry level for me, at least. I feel like now our videos have, you can at least, I think, tell that we give a shit about it nominally, as opposed to, the audio shouldn't be crackling, etc. So that's the gear. I have been enjoying the process in general. I do a lot of the video editing, and so I've had the opportunity to learn DaVinci Resolve and Shotcut. Both are great. I was having an issue with DaVinci Resolve where it was putting errors, visible errors on the video, and so I ended up going with Shotcut for my permanent solution because it's free and open source. Were you going to jump in there?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm not sold to the software either. So if there's people out there who can hear us who think, hey, there's a really great software that's free.
Oh yeah, by all means. Yeah. Put something in the comments down there. I mean, like I said, nobody comments on these videos yet. So if somebody's listening and you can educate us on how to make our videos better, like for example, my text, I had text on something I put on this board the other day, and that's how we realized that, I'm doing a screen capture of a screen capture of a Discord call, as you can see, because I haven't maximized the video like I normally would. And so the text is flipped, and I'm not sure how to fix that issue. So, we're totally open to being educated on a lot of fronts, but what we have learned is the best thing to do is find a software that's acceptable, and so I can, DaVinci Resolve and Shotcut, I can recommend both of those as being capable of getting the job done for you. For whatever reason, it seems like some people are a little hesitant to talk about exactly how they record these types of videos and what equipment they're using. A lot of people are transparent as well. There's people of all stripes, but we figure there doesn't seem to be a lot out there of. It's always people who are established telling you how they once started. And so I thought maybe this format might be nice because we still suck. We still don't know what we're doing. And so maybe we'll make some mistakes that other people might make. And if we won't become jaded and forget that we made those mistakes later, or, yada yada. So what else can we say?
Yeah, I was going to say, as far as the process goes, before we began this, I knew that there would be some time investment in both the creation and the, and the final editing and things of that nature. I was not prepared for the amount of time. I think you were more than I was, but that proved to be kind of one of the hurdles at the start. I think we've got a better handle on it now. And the editing process, as you said, you do more of it, because I'm basically sticking to the longer content. We just haven't made any yet. And so I've used the software a couple of times now, and it's actually not anywhere near as bad as I thought it would be, but it takes time. and it's a definite learning curve. Um, but I've enjoyed it overall. I mean, this has become something I look forward to some days. There's a few days where I wake up and I go, boy, I wish I didn't have to do that. But on the large part, like it's I just I love it. Like it's a way to get our voice out there and to do really interesting things, I think.
Yeah, I guess another thing that I could say is I was always interested in the news, and I was interested in, policy and politics in general, all of that stuff. And I thought that I was capable of articulating my feelings on those topics. And I thought that I was capable of engaging in a discourse about current events. And this process has been a huge ego check in the sense that there's so many names to memorize and historical events that you have to be aware of before you make any kind of argument, and the amount of news reading and sifting through different sources and trying to figure out what people's bias is and trying to figure out what's going to be the most important thing to say about the topic for you guys listening. All of that stuff was vastly more intellectually demanding than I expected, and so for me that's glorious, because it means that what I was anticipating was going to be sort of, I was already going to be good at it, so here, look at my giant dick, has actually been a huge learning process where, I realized that in many ways I'm still very young. And so I look forward to learning all this new stuff that we're just starting to have a little taste of. I'm interested to see where we'll be in a year.
Yeah, and there's definitely a component of it too, in addition to the, just the increase in reading and overall knowledge. There's also been I was under the impression it would be much easier to just kind of have a conversation like we do on the phone or what have you.
Yeah, like we would just read an article and just be able to orate a cogent 10-minute video, but the time constraints coupled with the anxiety of it being on the, like in the permanent record.
Yeah, there's something about just the presence of the camera that immediately it just alters that conversation to a bit more performative, certainly, but also like suddenly like I find myself going, oh crap, what do I have to say, and I'm stuttering and I can't think, and we're learning how to do that.
Yeah, that's been a really interesting thing, is that I have developed a stutter, and I find myself pausing a lot, and I think what's happening there is I'm trying to decide what do I want to say that I can't take back ever.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you could do as I've done repeatedly and just say like 50 times.
Yeah, and that's a generational thing too. A lot of casters on YouTube that I watch, much more successful ones, they will also do that, and sometimes it does get excessive. Yeah, so the whole process has been really, really fantastic, I think.
It's fascinating.
It's rewarding in the sense that even if no one ever listens, at least I know that in earnest, I read the news and used my critical reading skills to try and tell the truth to people, and tried to put a message out there of truth and justice and hope. And even if I fail at that, the process of the attempt is enriching.
And if you're at all thinking that you have something worth contributing, I know you and I have talked about this off the air. Now's the time. There's no better time to get started in it. There's no better time. I mean, you may not be able to get monetized or yada yada, all these arguments about YouTube, but the mainstream corporate media is not what we need right now. We need more of the people's voice out there saying, we don't like this, we don't agree. We need more people who are willing to dig into the story and see, is this the real story? What do you call it? New media, I think is the term you'd used.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm confident calling myself that yet, but certainly we're filling that role, and I think we need more of it.
We answered that call. It's now is the time to speak. The world is burning. The rise of authoritarianism is at play globally in a way that is very disturbing. Democracies are being challenged. The specter of ideologies of the past that were destructive has become ever more present in our daily lives. The capitalism and consumptionism are immensely troubling, and there is not time for us to remain silent. And so that's why we're here, inept as we may be, and amateur as we may be in this particular arena. We have the time to do it, and we have the ability and the resources. And so even if we're the shittiest newscasters on YouTube, I hope that there could be 1,000, 1,000,000 more of us. And then like little fucking ants, we can crawl up the leg of the establishment and eat them.
How awesome would it be to type in a news story and get 1,000 different people from on YouTube with 1,000 different opinions, or 1,000 voices combining on a same opinion, instead of, well, CNN said,
Yeah.
A friend on Facebook said. It's needed. It's definitely a thing. And I mean, I know there's Twitter warriors out there as well, and I know maybe at some point we'll get into the social media a bit more, but definitely we need more people talking out.
Yep. And so yeah, this has gone a lot longer than we originally anticipated, but we'll do another one of these in a month. Obviously, we're not making any money from this. That's the other thing to keep in mind too. Is so far,
unless you want to pay us.
Yeah, well, which you can't. There's even if people wanted to, there's not really a mechanism by which they could do that at this juncture. The most that people can do right now is leave a comment and hit the like button, so, subscribe and hit the bell thing, because that's algorithmically, I think that's the most powerful thing that the viewer can do, is just merely interact with the video, and it'll get us more views. So we will be back to our regular content here, but we'll do this again in about a month and see where we're at.